1 out of 166 children born today have autism. And that sinks in, and this is, yes, that's quite a big number. But if you think about it, how many children are being born every day throughout the United States or throughout the world? How many children are being born in a year? And I don't have the numbers, but it's a big number. But that's this year. Then comes next year, and the year after that. And every year there is a large number of children born, of which 1 out of 166 has autism. Now these numbers start adding up. And if you think about it, what the impact of this number is going to have 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the numbers are exploding. And that's what we really have to realize, what a tremendous impact autism has today and will have on our society.
This is a huge problem. It's not going away. Our kids are not going away. We have an army of kids behind our kids, younger children. They're diagnosing 1 in 166 kids today. We're not going away.
Our children are getting services in school until the age 21. So much energy and love and money goes into teaching them again and again repetitively how to cope with situations in a world that is difficult for them to understand, because their brains are wired differently from what we call typical children. As the children grow up, and the time, those 21 years go so fast, especially the last 10 go faster and faster. Suddenly you're faced with the situation that there are no more services. Just when they have maybe mastered how to say hi and bye, and how to start writing their names and so on, and how to have a little job, you know, suddenly there's no more supports when they are supposed to start their lives. Their lives are just starting, the biggest part of their life, you know. 21 years have gone by. They're probably going to live to 60 and 70 because they're healthy children, most of them. And medical services are good nowadays. And then they're left, there's like a black hole opening up for them. And for the parents and the children, it's absolutely absolute disaster. It's panic.
There are parents out there that are literally screaming and crying out for help because they've gotten too old to deal with their children anymore. And there are no places. There are waiting lists and waiting lists and waiting lists because nothing is mandated. There's no you have to. The state doesn't have to do anything.
Meanwhile, with the numbers such as they are today, we have a growing population that is going to need some care. And warehousing was never acceptable. So we need some solutions. We need them now.
Greatest fear would be having him with absolutely nothing to do, without a purpose in life, without a community to enjoy, without being able to work and have a place with recreation, to really have the components that construct a life. You know, and we can give him some of that for so long, and then eventually we'll die, and it's an impossible situation.
And who is going to be there for her once we are gone? And I don't have an answer. I just don't know.
I'm every day, yeah, every day I get up and I think, what do I have to worry about again today?
If I'm gone, will there be someone there to help him live a happy life and help him handle life's problems that hit everybody?
Friends of Autistic People was established, was founded by my wife, Brita, with the idea of advocating for grown-up children with autism who need services. All those who have autism like to be with animals, like to be in an environment. We have seen our own daughter Vanessa, how she reacted with animals. So during all these conversations, we came to the conclusion that yes, a farm is something that might be ideal for those adults who have autism. And as we started to do some research, we looked around, we realized that it's been done before. There are farms, so we decided to do some more research, and we went to visit one of those farms in Ohio. And we were absolutely amazed how well the autistic adults who were at that farm, how well they reacted to the environment. They were free, they had choices, they could work on growing vegetables or take care of goats or chickens or ride the horses. It was a very healthy environment. They were thriving. It was no longer necessary to have these adults with autism sit somewhere in a room in front of the television, just being taken care of so that their basic needs would be catered for. They could actually live a normal life which they enjoyed and people who were with them enjoyed. So the farm is a dream for us because we need one in this part of the world. We need a farm here in Connecticut, a farm which is dedicated for adults with autism.
We will be a proving ground, a practice ground for students who study autism, psychology, social work. Will be a laboratory for new intervention or treatment techniques, teaching techniques, and everybody will be able to progress. There will not be this gap from age 21 to until you get somewhere into a good space.
My vision of it is a little Sturbridge village, essentially. Bring kids back to what was a very successful time for people who were handicapped in our history of taking care of them, which was, as a community, we took care of our own. In our community, in an agrarian environment, with jobs that were very interesting to that population.
We're not asking for charity from people because we intend to create something that will give back. We intend to create something that will help our children be productive citizens, and that they will be able in their own capacity and in their own way to give back to the community.
First of all, you give the people who live on this farm and learn on this farm a reason to have hope. You will give them back their lives, which at age 21 seem to be just disappearing, falling off a cliff. In addition, you will help us develop a model farm. In this part of the United States, we have a model farm in Ohio, for example. It's absolutely perfect, wonderful for people with autism. We want to establish one here that can be replicated, so what you give now will help more and more people in the future.
The seeds that you plant at the farm will grow, and it's going to be a tree, and you're going to see the benefits for the community.
I want to say thank you. I want you to come and see the farm, come and have a meal with our children. Come and buy some flowers or take a nature walk and enjoy it, because it's going to be an extraordinary place. It's going to be a beautiful place where our kids can form relationships and live a life, and you should be proud of yourselves that you had a part in making that happen.
Your donation will not only help us to build this model farm, it will raise awareness about adults with autism, train qualified staff, fund supported living arrangements, purchase state-of-the-art assistive communications equipment, and help to establish work programs for autistic adults. But most importantly, it will provide hope, dignity, and choices for some of the most needy amongst us.
And as a parent, as a fellow human being, I have an obligation to help my fellow human beings be happy. That's part of the bargain that we all have as living together.